becoming a common phenomenon in Nigeria. The rates at which couples get divorced in Nigeria is increasing on a daily basis. But however, the concept of alimony is something I'm not sure is quite common in Nigeria. The Matrimonial Courts Act of 1990 defines alimony as a support money or maintenance fee given by a spouse to another spouse by the order of the court. Welcome to 7 Legal. I am Olachi Anyukwa. This and more are the things we're going to be talking about on today's show. To get into the show, let's go on a commercial break. Hello and welcome back again. This is Anyukwa Olachi. Like I said before, divorce is increasing on a daily basis, and the rate at which divorce is increasing is alarming in Nigeria. Do we know about the concept of alimony? What is alimony? Who has to pay alimony? And who is alimony paid to? To discuss with me today is Barrister Ekwefi.
Nice to meet you.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
So how's your trip coming down here?
Quite cozy. It's a short ride. I live at Shelcoop Estate, so it's really a short commute.
Oh, you're welcome.
Happy I'm here.
You're welcome. Before we get into the concept of alimony, let's talk about divorce really too.
Okay.
What are there legal procedures or are there legal basis for divorce in?
Basically, for you to be applicable for divorce, you must have married for a period of 2 years. So if you have not married for a period for more than 2 years, you cannot file for divorce. Even if you want to get a divorce, the court requires and mandates you to go into mediation. Mediation is a pre-trial routine that's out of the courts that helps people get a judgment out of the court.
Are there procedures that are legal procedures that they need to follow through, like filing for getting a lawyer?
Yeah, you need to. After you have proven that you have been to a mediation, you then you start a divorce procedure with a filing of a petition. So you file it at any high court in Nigeria, and then once it has been proved that you have provided marriage certificate, that you have been married for more than 2 years, then the procedure for divorce can be commenced.
Okay. You were talking about the fact that the person has to have been married for like 2 years.
Yeah.
For instance, when a child, there's an issue of child marriage in Nigeria.
Yes,
it cannot not be divorced. When a child was married out of or before 18, that's child marriage, and the person reaches 18, and the person wants to divorce, is it also a valid ground for divorce?
There are two ways to answer this question. First of all, underage marriage is illegal. And it is a means of which a marriage can be broken down retrievably. It is a means of dissolution of marriage. So yes, a person that comes out, when you marry under the court order, the court won't even allow an underage marriage to occur. But when you marry traditionally, there's not really a place in the constitution that breaks down about the traditional and for an underage person, but it is allowed in Nigeria. So yes, the courts will file and allow you to file for dissolution of marriage if you're under the age of 18. A requirement for someone to be allowed to marry is that they have attained the legal age, and in Nigeria the legal age is 18. So they can't even marry if in a court order, court-wise. That's what I'm saying. They can only marry that way, traditionally and customary, because in Nigeria we are seeing that it is allowed.
Okay, so let's get into the concept of alimony.
Okay.
What is alimony?
Alimony is basically money paid to a spouse by order of the court for maintenance. In the constitution, they don't use the word alimony; they use the word maintenance. It is money paid to maintain the livelihood of a spouse after a divorce procedure has been done.
So it actually works in Nigeria.
It actually works in Nigeria.
So there are people you can say in Nigeria that collect alimony after divorce.
Yes.
Wow. Do we have specific people or specific partner, maybe the male? Because in the concept of Nigeria, it's the male that is meant to provide for the home. So is it also? Could you also say that is a man that is meant to provide alimony, or is it both ways?
In the case of Nakadana versus Nakadana, the courts ruled that alimony is not specified for one party. Either party can be subjected to pay alimony depending on the facts of the case. They will look at the amount of time being married. They'll look at the person that filed for the divorce. They'll look at the well-being of both spouses, who earns more money. They'll look at the person that was found cheating, that could not. They'll look at all these factors before they imply the person has meant to pay the alimony. So alimony is not just for the male; it could be for both spouses.
Do you think that because of lack of knowledge of alimony, so do you think that because people don't know that there's something called alimony, that's why they don't even demand for alimony, or that the spouse don't even have money to give extra for alimony? What?
First of all, Nigeria, we're living in the back ages, in the covered. Our eyes are really covered in Nigeria.
We are developing.
When we're still developing.
Exactly.
Nigeria is still considered a developing country. We haven't reached that level of a fully fledged developed country. So yes, a lot of people do not know what alimony is. They don't know that they can be paid alimony. They don't know the requirements for alimony. So my answer to that is that a lot of people do not know about alimony. They're either being told by their lawyers or by their friends, but personally they will not know about alimony because it's not a common thing in Nigeria.
So they don't pursue to get their alimony. They don't pursue to get their let's use maintenance fee so that people will understand. Yes, it's almost the same thing, but they don't, because they don't have a knowledge of this. They don't now pursue to get that. Is it what you're saying?
That's what a lawyer is for. A lawyer is meant to advise their clients on ways in which they can pursue a particular case. So it is a lawyer's rights, and a lawyer is required to advise their client that they could get alimony after a divorce. So any good lawyer would advise their clients in Nigeria that alimony is something that could be given to you after divorce.
If a court orders for a payment of an alimony, and there's a breach of that agreement by the party who's ordered to pay the alimony not paying that alimony, what would be the punishment for such action?
You first of all file a suit to the courts requiring that the court order has not been done. The court will then mandate the person to pay alimony. So they will impose on the person to pay the sum, or they might be sentenced to either jail time or community service.
Okay. So you're saying that the payment of alimony, because most people in Nigeria will say the couple, they don't even have enough money to pay and everything. So what if he defaults? Who holds him accountable? So you're saying if someone doesn't pay the alimony, we should go back to court again and start the process of going through.
The process will not be the same. The process you then go for in the court when your final son is not paying alimony, you're just going to file another, like a different, like a follow-up suit telling the judge and the court that the alimony that has been granted to you has not been paid. Then the court will then investigate your claim and see if your claim is right. If they then find out your claim is right, they will mandate the individual, the spouse, to begin the payment of alimony.
So you said there are instances where after a divorce, it is possible that this maintenance fee is not paid. Just that. What instances are there? Is it that the couple don't have money to pay each other, or there is no need for the support? What could warrant an alimony not to be paid at all in any divorce issue?
If none of the spouses require alimony, if they don't ask the court for alimony, then that's an instance for alimony not being paid.
Okay, so we went about child marriage.
Okay.
When a child sues for divorce after 18.
Okay.
Is it a comfortable ground for alimony? Because see, he or she was married before 18. And when he gets 18, she decides probably to sue and say, I didn't agree to such marriage, I was an infant, I didn't know what I was doing. Is the person mandated to pay alimony to the child?
Basically, the court does not see traditional or customary marriage as it does not. It's a legal marriage, but you can't sue someone on the grounds of a customary or traditional marriage. Only a court-ordered marriage.
Okay.
That's why I was saying that it's only in a court-ordered marriage that a child will not even be granted to allow to marry. So after the age of 18, then the person can marry. Then the person can get alimony. But for a customary and traditional marriage, that's the only way I believe in Nigeria a child can be married legally. And I wouldn't even say legally because it's not yet, it's not because for something to be legal, it has to be written in our constitution. And it is not yet defined in our constitution that each person below the age of 18 cannot get married traditionally or customarily. So, yes, the answer is a child that goes into a customary or traditional marriage may not be able to get alimony because they will not be recognized in courts.
It's not statutory.
It's not statutory, exactly.
Oh, okay. That's amazing. So, what are the required grounds for marriage that will require an alimony? Like you said right now, that a child under customary marriage cannot get alimony.
Yeah.
So, if I'm preparing to get married right now, what procedure do I need to take? So, in case if there's a divorce, I'm able to get alimony.
Okay, so basically, you need to just prove to the courts that you'll be married for more than 2 years. You need to prove to the courts that you have gone through the process of mediation.
You also need to have a court marriage for that to happen.
That's what I'm saying. You need to prove to show that you'll be married for more than 2 years. You need to provide your marriage certificates, which a court grants, that proves that you'll be married for more than 2 years. And then also you need to prove that your marriage has been broken down irretrievably and irredeemably. And then you also have to prove that you have gone through the process of reconciliation with the mediator. Those 3 grounds, after you have proved them, then the process of divorce can begin. And those 3 grounds can also lead you to earning your alimony, your maintenance.
Wow, that's nice. Thank you very much, Mr.
Thank you.
Ekwefi. Okay, we've come right at the end of today's show. Divorce is becoming a rampant, a common phenomenon in Nigeria. And the concept of alimony is something we discussed today. So for you to be able to get alimony, first of all, you have to be married in the court of law. It has to be a legalized marriage. So you'll be able to get that. So when you're planning to get married, please get a legalized marriage for that. And if the court rules on an alimony, you can get your money. Okay, this is Sebo Legal, and I'm Olachi Anyekwa. Do have a blessed day.